couple dozen people gathered at Dundas Driving Park this morning, waving signs to stop the sprawl and encourage no urban boundary expansion. They then caravanned slowly through the city, attracting as much attention as possible, and arrived at City Hall where other supporters had already gathered. Their movement really began 7 months ago, when the city of Hamilton was poised to adopt a plan to grow beyond its current borders. The city is forecasting the need for about 110,000 new housing units over the next 30 years, and staff recommend using about 3,300 acres of green space for part of that development.
I wrote to the city and asked, hey, where's the no expansion option? Because there was only Sprawl and Sprawl Max.
That's when Nancy Hurst and friends started organizing opposition. Several Stop the Sprawl advocates spoke at a committee meeting in March, and city councillors agreed to wait for more public input.
The City of Hamilton sent out a flyer to residents asking them to have a say about urban expansion, but organizers of this event say not enough people recognize this as a survey, and the deadline for public input is tomorrow.
Until then, people can send an email to the planning department. Hurst hopes Hamilton chooses option 2.
No boundary expansion, and that we build sustainably and do better, more creative building within our city. And there are so many people that recognize that we have a lot of empty space in Hamilton. From miles and miles of strip malls that could do with 1 or 2 levels on top to boarded up street fronts.
NDP environment critic Sandy Shaw says the city is following directions from the Ford government.
Since he's taken power, he's done nothing but attack the environment, take away Conservation Authority powers, strip all of our environmental protections, issue ministerial zoning orders. This urban boundary expansion is part of that strategy.
She says she doesn't trust the province's growth estimates, which have an extra 236,000 people living in Hamilton by 2051, bringing the population to 820,000. Lisa Hepfner, CHCH News.
And staying with the story, late this afternoon, a spokesperson from the Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing responded to MPP Sandy Shaw's criticism about urban expansion. The statement reads in part, "We need to put affordable home ownership within reach of more Ontario families. By extending the planning horizon to 2051 and updating the population and employment forecasts, municipalities have the flexibilities to determine how much land is needed to accommodate new residents and employment."